Alright guys, coming at you with the other video now. Trucking 2021. This one's the advanced video for the non-rookies. You guys have been driving for a little minute. And this applies to people that have been driving, you know, for like a year or so, a year or two. Same amount of time as me, 3 years and some change, or some people have been driving for 10, 15, 20 plus years. This right here, and I'm sure that they'll agree with me, this right here is a topic that definitely needs to be discussed. Yeah, definitely should be discussed and needs to be put out there to the masses because I see too many people make these mistakes. Let's talk about, you know, you've had your license, finally finished your first year and some change with the company that you got your license through, you paid your dues, you paid off that contract obligation. Now you're ready to move on and make some real money, you know, the money that you're hoping that you'd come out and make, you know, starting this adventure. All right, so what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? What are you going to look into? Well, I hope at this point of your career you are working on, or somebody has at least mentioned to you, or you have obtained all your endorsements, your hazmat, your doubles and triples, your tanker, your TWIC, and your passport. I have the video zoomed out a little bit. You guys probably can tell how close he was. I have the video where it's like pulled back so you're not actually looking at the for real view how close it was. Dude pulled in front of me like very little space. So yeah, but I digress. So you know, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? What do you look, you know, where do you go next? Now you have options. Now you can throw your weight around a little bit. You have your experience, you kept your nose clean, you have a good record. What do I want to do? Start looking at companies. You know, some of these companies out here require 6 months to a year experience before you can drive. Some are saying 2 years. Shit, okay. Got your time in. So, what do I want to do? Ask yourself, are you happy with your current home time? Or do you need a company that can provide you with more home time? Or do you want to go to, or do you mind a company that'll have you out a little bit longer because you're okay with your home time, but you don't mind staying out to have it longer if the pay is right? What's an acceptable starting pay for you? You know, what's an acceptable starting pay? Do these companies that you're looking at have a strong freight lane to the area that you live? Do they pull the kind of freight that you want to pull? What's their home time policy like? What's their vacation policy like? What's their 401k like? What's their insurance like? Who's their insurance through? What kind of trucks are you guys using? You know, what's the average age of the trucks? You guys APUs, EPUs, you have inverters, you know, by this time, you know what you need to ask these companies. Redo your research. One thing that bothers me, I love ATS so much, but one thing that bothers me about a lot of our drivers when I talk to them at various terminals, I talked to one guy, he just vented so much. It says I'm going to make 65 cents per mile. And he's like, I look at my pay stub and I'm not making 65 cents per mile. And I said, so we're sitting there talking, he's like, he was sitting there talking about, you know, just not what he thought, blah, blah, blah. And that's okay, well, you know, what are your checks like, you know, how much you making, if you don't mind me asking? He's like, you know, I'm making about 1,200 or so a week, give or take a little bit. I'm like, okay. Then he's like, I also live, you know, he's like, all right, you know, he's like, I don't get loads places on time. He's like, he didn't really say it like that. He told me there's always seemed to be a reason why his loads don't make it to places on time. That's why I picked up while talking to him. He might as well just come out and say, I can't get shit to places on time. that better than the excuses that he's given for literally every single load. Yeah, so come to find out, there's something up with him. Now, there's nothing to talk about. Do the research and read. Don't say what you think it said. Read to understand what it says. ATS does not say you will make 65 cents per mile on every load. It says a lot of our drivers average 65 cents per mile. What does that mean? That means you take into account all the incentives and all the extra pays and whatnot that come outside of just the mileage pay. Because my CPM right now is 58 cents per mile. But my average is like 67, 68, something like that. Somewhere around that neighborhood. 67, 68, it fluctuates. But basically it stays between 66 and 68 cents per mile. That's my average. Look at what goes into that. It is not saying that you are getting paid 65 cents per mile. It says your average. So that means if you're doing a load with multiple stops to it, you get paid per stop. That goes into how much you're making off of that load, not just mileage. If you have to get detention, that goes into how much you make off of that load. That alters the percentage of the CPM percentage of the load. We get paid mileage, or percentage, which everyone pays for. So all that kind of stuff affects what your average is going to be. Your base, there are some loads where I don't have to tarp and it is one stop and that is it. From point A to point B, picking up the load, from point B to point C, dropping off the load. It's just straight driving and securing, and that's it. I'm not claiming detention at the shipper or the receiver. Everything goes boom, 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 perfect. And I get that paycheck, and I get that payout for that load. I got paid at a rate of 58 cents per mile. I'm not looking at it and saying, well, I'm supposed to get 65. No. I'm getting paid 58 cents per mile. So that is how much I make. Now I have loads that I have to tarp. Then I get the tarp pay added into the total amount. That changes it. There are some loads where I have to retarp it 2 or 3 times because it's multiple stops. So now I'm getting stop pay multiple times on top of retarp pay. And sometimes that'll make it to where the average is like basically damn near $1 a mile. So they take the average of all of that and give you what your average CPM is. That is what that is saying. It is not saying you are making 65. So that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people look at something, they're not asking enough questions. And this goes into job satisfaction. All this stuff can affect your career later on down the line. 2020 was a rough year for me. You guys know, I hurt my knee and, I was out of work for a while. But outside of that, it wasn't really that bad of a year. But 2021 is shaping up to be a very good year for me already. Got big things coming up, some news to drop to you guys. Once it's all official and done and said with, I'll make a video on it. But until it's all official and done and said, this is about as close as you're going to get to it, to knowing what I'm talking about. Unless you are somebody that I actually talk to on a daily basis, or you're like a very close friend of mine, you're going to know what I'm talking about. But the rest of y'all guys just have to stay tuned and you'll find out when it's time for you to find out. But 2021 is shaping up to be a great year and paving the rest of the way for my career as I see it. It's also going to change the dynamics of how my YouTube channel is done and set up. But I digress. So, and I'm going to tell you how all this plays a part. You have so many people who are quick to jump from company to company to company, and they're asking very basic questions. well, how much am I getting paid per mile? How many miles a week do you think I'll run? And that's really it. They're really not asking anything else outside of how many miles a week do you think I'm going to run, and what's my CPM. And what ends up happening is you'll get these drivers who get hired on, and it's good at first, and then it starts going downhill very fast. And then you start hearing them moan and groan and complain and gripe at the truck stops and at the terminal. My company's not getting me home when I want to. You know, my truck is a piece of crap. It's constantly breaking down. I'm not going here. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. There's a lot of issues. What ends up happening is they jump from that company, they apply to other companies, and they're making the same mistake. How many miles am I going to get a week? How much am I going to get paid per mile? They go to another company, they sit and brag and love on it at first, and then things start happening, and they start hating it. They're not asking, what's your home time policy like? Is there a weekly minimum guaranteed pay, or is there a set guaranteed number of miles we'll do a week? What are your miles are your drivers averaging? What is my actual pay rate? Do I live in a strong freight lane for this company, for the kind of trailer that I am pulling? Ask those questions. What's your detention pay? What's your layover pay? What's your trailer weight pay? Do you have trailer weight pay? Do you have breakdown pay? You know, everything like that. All of it. What kind of trucks do you drive? Do your trucks have APUs, EPUs, inverters? Well, how old are your trucks? When do you normally retire your truck and put a driver in a new one? At how many miles? All of that kind of stuff. That will help you get a good feel as to what to look forward to with that company. I've been blessed and fortunate enough, when I started with Rail back in 2017, I did my research, and Rail was exactly what worked for me. Rail was not my first choice, but you know, my brother actually went there, and he asked me to go through CDL school with him so we could do it together. And I did my research on Rail and said I can get down with that, before I told him a solid yes. So we both went, we both finished, and I stayed at Rail for a little less than 2 years. I want to say a little less than 2 years. I started in October 2017, and I ended in May of 2019. And that's when I came over here to ATS. But before I came to ATS, I started doing my research into other companies. You know, I said, hey, I would like to do specialized and get into heavy haul. Where do I need to go? Where's a place I'll take a person with no experience and offer me what I'm looking for? And a buddy of mine ended up telling me about ATS. I looked into it. I did my research along with looking into other places. And I said, ATS seems to have a right fit for me. And started there in May of 2019. And I've been here since. I'm still at ATS. Been here since. And I've loved every second of this company. I mean, this company is so good. It's an amazing company. You know, not everything is perfect about it. There's no such thing as a perfect system anywhere in this world. So there's that. Every system has flaws. Every company has flaws. Not everything is perfect. But I will say this company is perfect for me, for what I was looking for at that time in my life, all the way up to now. It still provides me with a good bit of what I want and need. It provides me with everything I need and all in the most of what I want. I have nothing negative to say about ATS. I truly, truly, truly love it here. If I were going to stay an over-the-road driver for the duration of my career in life, I would never leave this company. It is an amazing company to work for. And I have so much faith in the leadership of this company because they're just fucking awesome. My fleet managers, both of them that I've had, they both take care of me second to none. They give me great miles. They make sure my paychecks look the way I want to look. he puts me under the top of trailers that I say I want to pull. If I say I want to pull an RGN, he finds me an RGN load and he makes it happen. If outside of that, I don't really care. Basically, I just stay under a step deck and I run with the step deck. And he's always giving me good miles, and you know, if something happens, he always finds a way to compensate for me. Rob's truly has my back as a fleet manager, and I couldn't ask for a better one. So, there's that. But the reason I say that is there are so many amazing companies out here that are truly awesome. But what do they say? You have to have 2 years of driving experience. You couldn't have driven for more than 3 companies. Now, what ends up happening is you have a guy like me. I've only driven for 2 companies, both of which I've been at for a very long time. I can apply to those kind of jobs because I'm able to show I have longevity at a company. They don't have to worry about me getting there and jumping ship when times get a little rough and freight gets a tad bit slow. They see they've got a team player and somebody that has their back, and that's very important to a lot of companies that are going to pay very well. They want to see that you've been in the game for a long period of time, kept your nose clean, but you also don't have a lot of companies on your record. Versus somebody who doesn't do their proper research. They jump from company to company. Then when they decide to actually do their research and say, oh, this company is what I want. Now, they're not even eligible because they drove for 6 daggone companies in a 2 to 3 year span. And the company's not going to want them. That means basically they're only staying there for a few months at a time before they leave. That good company is not going to want you. So, keep that in mind. I'm not saying it's the end all be all and this will work 100% of the time, but damn it, it'll work probably 99% of the time. Do your research, do your due diligence before choosing a company to go to. Make sure it offers you exactly or most of what you, all of what you want, all of what you need and most of what you want. Understand that not everything is perfect. It's not always going to go the way you want to. Understand that as an over-the-road driver, not every single week is going to be a ridiculous dump truck load of a paycheck where you just go out and you say, you know what, I think I will add bacon to this sandwich, and I think I will make it a supersize instead of a regular large. Not every week you're going to have that kind of money. Dude, really? Oh, I wish I didn't have to zoom now. Dude literally was on the shoulder. Literally on the shoulder. No turn signal, nothing. Just jumped right back out in the highway. Oh. These people out here are ridiculous. So yeah. But now neither one of them want to drive. Now y'all both want to sit neck and neck. Alright, people. Can we, can somebody shake a little something? Get out the way? Somebody. One of y'all do something. Thank you, Jesus. It's going to be you? No, not going to be you. Come on. Come on, move. I just want you to know, purple pickup truck, fucking retarded. And you look just as dumb as you drive, too. Yeah, I said it. So, anyway, yeah, do the research before just jumping in bed with the company. Do your due diligence, and it'll help. It'll help. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Looking up and doing the research behind the companies before just jumping into bed with one of them, because at a certain point you're going to have too high of a company count. There's going to be some really good companies out there that just do not want to touch you because you have too high of a company count. But anyway, guys, as always, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, write them in the comment section. I always enjoy it when I have a video where the subscribers and the people who are watching talk amongst themselves, not only just asking me questions, but, you know, they all watch and look for themselves and, you know, figure it out between themselves. I like seeing that, you know. It feels like I'm bringing kind of a community together. You know, you guys start talking. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the flip side.